Hi, it's Jamie with Jamie's Arts a la Cartes. Thank you very much for joining me. I have a fun project planned for us today. I hope this video inspires you to create something of your own. If you would, hit the like button and share the video with your friends. That helps me to grow this channel and to continue to bring you new projects. If you haven't subscribed yet, would you please consider subscribing? And if you have, thank you very much. Well, we have a lot to do, so let's get to it. Alright, so check that out. So all I did was take a simple Sharpie and outline. Right, I gotta finish these hinges. I did the same thing on the front. Right, so I think I want to do the back hinges, and then I'm going to save this to do after. But one thing I want to do ahead of time is I want to draw in some tiny little birds. I'm going to take this fine point Sharpie and just do a something, you know, like a elongated kind of M. Just something simple. Alright, so now we're going to let it rest on those buckles on the front. Now we're going to try to touch up the paint on these hinges and there beside it. So first what I want to do is I want to determine what pieces will stay and what pieces will go so far as this napkin. Then what we're going to do is we are going to paint and we're going to Mod Podge to get our final pieces of this napkin to lay down. Might be easier to come in here and do it this way. doing is I am just touching up like this little hinge area. It's a little mountain there. Okay. Something like that. So there's our T-Rex, our long neck. Yeah, they meet up nicely, but we do want them to stay apart while we're letting that Mod Podge dry. Okay, so there is the back, the sides, and then there's the back, sides, see if I want to do anything like this. So all I'm doing is just adding some little highlights with my Sharpie. Okay, just gives it a little bit of depth there. Okay, something like that. Do a little experiment. All right, so now I need to do this little faux finish that I did here along the bottom. I need to do it on this side and then the front. So now we are going to work on this front. So I have to decide what I'm going to do first. Like how do I want to proceed? I think we will clean up the tissue paper. I think I want to that's what I do to help get my Mod Podge bottle open. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the tiniest little bit right on these little, what I call the buckles. And like right in here. pretty much anywhere I can put it that a mechanism will not be interfered with. And I mean, you know, latching it over. This is going to take several steps because I'm going to have to let it dry in between. So what I'm doing is I'm just coming in here and adding it. So now, what we got to decide is, do we want to kind of complement these buckles, or do we kind of want them to stand out a little bit? So I think we'll put purple on one side and brown on the other, just to kind of complement our dinos that are over there. So we'll start with one coat of purple on this, and then if we need to like faux in some other colors, we can do that. We'll get that first coat on here. trying to look like this. I think I want to change that to blue. Like blue on top and purple at the bottom. So that's what we're going to do. Okay. That'll need another coat, but that's a good place to start. Now I want to see this handle. Just getting the underneath side. Now, come back up here. Okay. So the back looks really good. Do see one little spot that I want to touch up. Alright, we're going to get some more brown on this little hinge over here. So I'm just touching up this back hinge. Just the tiniest little coat of second coat of brown. And so, if I can move this without damaging anything. So that's what the back looks like. So I'm pleased with it. I do want to touch up with, I'm going to fuss around with this front a little more. I think we'll let it dry. I was going to put more on it, but I think we'll let it dry at this point. And then we'll come in and we'll start working on this front. All right, here is our lunchbox. Check that out, y'all. Isn't that just adorable? I did the bottom, and of course the top. I'm going to paint a name on there just before I give it away. But I wanted to show you what I'm doing to get these outlines. See these outlines right here? So what I did was I just simply took a Sharpie. Right? So just to get that T-Rex outline. We have to touch up just one more time right here, but you'll see I've got to do a couple different things. But what we're going to do is push everything down best we can. Now let's just outline. Let's see, did I do the teeth? No, I just outlined the top and then around here. So something like this. Alright, and then what we'll do is we'll just do a little bit more shading with a Sharpie. So then we're going to come over here and work in here. So I did add some highlights in here, so we're going to just actually we're going to take this. So now I'm going to try to make sure I have all my areas covered in Mod Podge. I'm not going to go over where I just painted. I don't want to smear it. But I'm going to get all these other places. Alright, I think that's just about it. So we made sure we went over what we just added, and then these little fragile birds, those might, you know, have issues. So there we are. We'll let it dry thoroughly, then we'll take it outside and give it a good spray varnish, and then we'll let it set and completely cure, and then we'll just be about there. There we go. All right. There's our lunchbox. How about that? Dinosaur world. Okay, we'll let it dry, and then we'll get it sprayed, and then we'll show you what that looks like. Well, here's our lunchbox. Look at that. It's dry to the touch, but I'm gonna let it set out in the she shed and just completely cure. Really pleased with how it turned out. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, would you please consider subscribing? And well, until next time, happy crafting!